What's up everybody, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and the latest Xbox 360 update. I realized this came out a few days ago during the week, but I actually wanted to leave it run for a few days just to see what the general consensus with it was, if there was any problems, if there was any issues, or how the actual, I won't say performance, but how the benefits actually came about. And there's one specific reason I'm making this video, because there is one thing in this list of dashboard improvements that I feel is actually worth talking about. So in no particular order, we'll go over some of the features. I'll bang out the features as much as I can real quick, just so I can get on to the actual one I want to talk about and why I want to talk about it. I'll leave that at the end of the list. But anyway, so starting again in no particular order, from now, whenever you're looking at, say, something on the Xbox Store on your Xbox 360, you can now see your account balance, so you don't have to go in and just as you're about to buy it and all, and you find out you don't have the money or you do have the money, whatever, you see it straight away now, so a little bit handier. If you have access to, say, movies and TVs in your actual collection from the movie TV service and the Groove Music service, you now have access to that on your Xbox 360. You can also, what they call is, see what your friends are doing. Pretty standard stuff, really. You can now see what your friends are playing on Xbox One and Windows 10 from your Xbox 360. Kind of a little bit handy, because I know previously, if you were on your Xbox 360 and someone on your friends was playing a game on Xbox One, it would just say they're on Xbox One. It wouldn't actually say what game they were on. I don't know how that worked for Windows 10. I don't know how it works when you're looking at Windows 10 on or from an Xbox One either, or if you're looking at the consoles from the PC. I don't know, but again, this is from the Xbox 360's point of view, because that's what this system update is for. They've added an activity feed, so it'll have the same style of activity feed that you have on the Xbox One. I'd imagine it's probably there on Windows 10 Xbox Live app as well, or somewhere else in there. It's got the whole standard stuff like you'd see in a Twitter feed or anything. You can see what people have unlocked achievement wise. You can like stuff, share stuff, comment, put up some just general messages. If people have game clips and screenshots and stuff like that, you can check out all that stuff. So that's all been added on there as well. One other thing that I find is really nice on this, with this next feature, is you can now redeem codes from messages. You can do this on Xbox One, and if Microsoft or whoever, whatever publisher or anything like that, sends you a code in an Xbox message, be it, I don't know, for a DLC or what else? A DLC or a game or a dashboard team or anything like that. Back in I said back in the day, but like as of any time before a few days ago, on Xbox 360 at least, you would have to like write it down, or what I used to do was take a picture of my TV with my phone and then enter the code in manually. Bit of a pain, all I can say. Now it's joining the Xbox One style. Is if you get a message like that, you can literally just hit a button that says redeem code directly from the message. You don't have to enter it in, it's all done. That's pretty handy. So there's two more here. One of the ones is what I want to talk about. This next one, it doesn't really, I can understand it, but it doesn't really personally affect me, obviously, but we'll go over it anyway. You can now accept terms of use. So basically, if you take your Xbox 360 with you to anywhere that has a semi-public, semi-private network, for example, a hotel or a hospital or just other certain public places, usually you have to sign into a web browser, and they'll give you the website, and then you accept that, and then you can use their internet service. Usually this has been a problem for console users if they take their console with them and go to somewhere that has a network set up like this, because you can never properly accept it and use the internet. Now apparently you can do that. So basically you will connect to the network. You'll be prompted to test your Xbox Live connection, and then you'll be directed to Internet Explorer on your Xbox 360 to log into whatever network you're using. You obviously have to have the most up-to-date version of Internet Explorer first to have this to be able to work. And now, the bit I actually want to talk about is originally the Xbox 360 when it first got cloud storage, it had 512 MB of cloud storage. Now, that wasn't too much, but at the time when we first got it, it wasn't, game saves weren't that big. Now, with the advent of games being ported over to Xbox One, as well as at the same time, say, you've games like the Rare Replay Collection, and games being ported over to Xbox One, as well as the upcoming backwards compatibility, which I believe is in the November Xbox One update. What you need to do is you need to boot up your Xbox 360. You put your Xbox 360 save games into the Microsoft Cloud, and that would allow you access to them on the Xbox One. Now, you do have to leave them in your cloud, your 360 cloud, as long as you want access. I mean, they don't download to your Xbox One or anything like that, so you need to actually keep them in there. And with more and more games, over 100 games, I believe it's over 100 games that are going to launch in the compatibility program in November. So that's over 100 games. So that's seriously going to take up a chunk of save file or of save space. For even if you I know I think I have maybe 10 games in my Xbox Live cloud, and that was all recently because of Rare Replay, and well, it was because of Rare Replay, the upcoming Gears of War quadrilogy, if you will, coming to the backwards compatibility, and with the news that Fallout and I think it was Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas is going to be coming to the backwards compatibility as well. I decided to throw them in there too, just to be for the sake of it, and that didn't take up too much space. I think that took up like 100 MB for me, so that was basically nothing. But the fact that they're adding in over 100 games, that could fill up very fast. So with this update, they've quadrupled the space. So you're now moving from 512 MB to 2 GB of Xbox Live 360 of Xbox 360 Live cloud storage saves. So that brings it up to the second highest cloud storage on any console. You have the Xbox One, which has infinite cloud storage. You have no limit on the cloud storage you have. So you can store as many Xbox One save files as you want. It's like I said, it's basically got infinite space. You now have the second highest amount, which is the Xbox 360 at 2 GB, and you have the PS4, or well, just the PlayStation family in general, which has 1 GB. Now, I do feel like throwing this in there as well, because I know some people are already reaching for their keyboards and calling me a fanboy. I do realize that with the upcoming, I think it's PlayStation 3.0 software, that the PlayStation 4 cloud is going up to 10 GB. That's not public yet, and it's not live yet. Obviously, the information is public, but the actual update is not public and live yet, so it doesn't count as of the time of this video, because this Xbox 360 update that I'm talking about released a few days ago to the public. So that's why I'm counting it like that. But I'm not bashing the PlayStation. I'm just saying, well, in all fairness, the PlayStation and their lack of storage kind of thing has been a bit of an issue in general. But I digress. I don't want to get off on a tangent on that. So the fact that they're updating this to accommodate the 100 games that are going to come to backwards compatibility, and the God knows how many countless more that they're going to add over time, because it's only launching with 100 games. They're going to continue adding more and more and more over time, and chances are that 2 gig storage is probably going to seem pretty small when you have a choice of maybe 500-600 Xbox 360 games that you want to play, or that you have access to on your Xbox One. Because you still need to, like I said, you do need to keep the save in the Xbox 360 cloud for as long as you want to access it on Xbox One. So that's the main thing I want to talk about. The fact that they're actually going back and updating the 360 cloud to quadruple the storage in anticipation for what's going to be needed. It makes perfect sense, and it's completely understandable. But what I do like to see is the fact that despite the Xbox 360 is obviously on its way out, and Microsoft is concentrating on Xbox One, they're still bringing new features, pretty much everything I listed in here, to the Xbox 360, and they're still making an important upgrade that's, how would I say, It's not just kind of cosmetic or just at no cost. Essentially, more cloud storage, and yeah, basically more cloud storage you have, the more it costs on the servers, space, etc., etc. So they're still factoring in that too, the Xbox 360. So it's nice to see them get a little bit of a bonus, a little bit of benefit in there. And it's going to help out people with both consoles or that have moved from Xbox 360 to Xbox One. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about anything in this entire update. Specifically, what your thoughts are on the quadruple cloud storage space and how that's going to affect you in November if you have an Xbox One with the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility coming to Xbox One. Do you have 50 games that you want to put in? Do you have to pick and choose? Were you worried about it? Either way, let me know all that in the comment section below anyway. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter. Details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.